Lesson 1, Great Deals.
Hey Anna, did you go shopping lately?
Yes, I went to the mall yesterday. I found some great deals.
Really? What did you buy?
I got a new jacket, a pair of jeans, and some accessories. The sales were amazing.
That's awesome. I need to do some shopping soon too. Is there a good store you'd recommend?
There's a store called Fashionista that has really trendy clothes at reasonable prices. You should check it out.
Okay, great. I'll have to make a trip there soon. Was the mall crowded when you went?
It was a bit crowded, but not too bad. The weekends are usually the busiest. I try to go on weekdays if I can.
Good to know. I prefer going when it's less crowded too. Thanks for the shopping tips.
Lesson 2, Exploring the Neighborhood.
Hi Anna, have you ever explored our neighborhood? There are some interesting places nearby.
Hi John, not really. I've been mostly staying at home. What places do you recommend?
Well, there's a beautiful park just 3 blocks away from where we are. It's quite close and a great place to relax.
That sounds nice. Is there anything special about the park?
Yes, it not only helps the environment but also beautifies our city. They have a variety of plants and flowers that make it really charming.
That's wonderful. We should definitely visit the park sometime. It's important to appreciate nature.
I totally agree. We should also encourage others to take care of the environment and enjoy the beauty of our surroundings.
Absolutely. Small actions like picking up trash or planting trees can make a big difference.
Exactly. It's important for everyone to do their part in preserving our environment for future generations.
Lesson 3, Summer Relaxation.
Hey Anna, I had such a relaxing day at the beach. How about you?
Hello John, I went for a nice swim earlier and it felt so refreshing.
That's great. I just laid out on my blanket and soaked up the sun. It was the perfect way to unwind.
I agree, the beach is the best place to relax and recharge. Did you go for a swim too?
No, I didn't feel like getting in the water today. I just wanted to lounge around and let my body cool down.
Ah, I see. Sometimes it's nice to just soak up the sun without getting wet. What did you do to cool off?
Well, after a while, I actually headed back to my blanket and laid in the sun. The warmth felt amazing after being in the water.
Ah, yes, that sounds heavenly. The sun can be so soothing and rejuvenating. I'm glad you had such a wonderful, relaxing day.
Me too, it was exactly what I needed. The beach is the perfect place to just unwind and forget about everything else.
Lesson 4: Greening Our Cities.
Hey Anna, I was thinking about ways we could make our city more eco-friendly. What do you think?
Ooh, that's a great idea, John. I'm always looking for ways to help the environment.
Well, I was thinking we could start by planting more trees around the city. Not only would that help the environment, but it would also beautify our streets.
I love that suggestion. Trees not only absorb carbon dioxide, but they provide shade and make the area look so much more lively.
Exactly. And we could also encourage people to plant gardens, even in small spaces like balconies or patios.
Yes, that's brilliant. Home gardens help reduce waste and provide fresh, local produce. Plus, they're so pretty to look at.
Absolutely. And we could look into installing more solar panels and implementing recycling programs too.
Those are all fantastic ideas. If we work together as a community, I bet we could make our city a real model of sustainability.
I agree. If we get people on board and provide the right resources, I think we can make some great changes.
Lesson 5: Daydreaming about travel.
You know, I've been daydreaming a lot lately about taking an epic adventure somewhere.
Oh, I can relate to that. Where has your imagination been taking you?
Well, I've been picturing myself floating down a winding river, surrounded by lush greenery and towering mountains.
That sounds absolutely magical, John. The tranquility of drifting along a river must be so peaceful.
Definitely. I'd love to travel that way, taking in all the beautiful landscapes as I go.
I can just imagine it, gliding past waterfalls, spotting wildlife along the banks, feeling the gentle current carry you forward.
Exactly. And I'd want to immerse myself in the local culture too, you know? Maybe even camp under the stars at night.
That would be an incredible experience. Connecting with nature in that way, away from the distractions of everyday life.
Absolutely. I feel like it would be such a grounding and rejuvenating journey. Just me, the river, and the great outdoors.
Lesson 6: Wiped out.
Hey Anna, have you noticed how life in Britain has become harder lately? There's a lot of frustration in the air.
Yeah, I definitely felt the strain. People seem more on edge these days.
It's really tough. With the cost of living crisis, many of us are feeling wiped out.
Absolutely. It's not just financial either, the pandemic, political turmoil, it's all taking a toll.
Definitely. I feel like I'm just running on empty sometimes.
Me too. We need to find ways to recharge and cope with all this stress.
Any ideas? I'm open to suggestions.
Well, I've been trying to prioritize self-care, even if it's just small things like taking a walk or reading a book.
That's a good point. The little things can make a big difference when you're feeling drained.
Lesson 7, Exploring Japan.
Hey Anna, I heard you recently traveled to Japan. How was it?
Oh, it was amazing. I got to explore so many different cities and see such a unique culture.
That's great. What were some of the highlights?
Well, I loved wandering through the shrines and temples in Kyoto. The architecture was just breathtaking.
I've always wanted to visit Kyoto. What else did you do?
I also spent time in Tokyo, which was such a lively and vibrant city. I went to the Tsukiji fish market and tried so many delicious foods.
Ah, the sushi must have been incredible. Did you make it to any other cities?
Yes, I went to Hiroshima as well. It was a very moving experience to learn about the history there.
I can imagine. Japan seems to have so much to offer, both culturally and historically.
Lesson 8, Trying New Foods.
Oh, it was great. I've always wanted to experiment with different cuisines.
That's awesome. What kinds of dishes did you try?
Well, I finally got around to trying sushi. I have to say, I'm a big fan now.
Sushi is so delicious. What did you think of it?
I love the fresh flavors and the artistry that goes into making it. It's definitely become a new favorite.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Sushi is such a staple in Japanese cuisine.
Yeah, and I also tried some Korean barbecue. The flavors were incredible.
Ooh, Korean barbecue is so much fun. Did you get to grill the meat yourself?
I did. It was such an interactive and social dining experience.
Lesson 9, Road Trip Adventure.
Hey Anna, I heard you're planning a road trip soon. Where are you headed?
Hey John, yes, I'm really excited about it. I'm planning to drive to the mountains for a little weekend getaway.
That sounds amazing. The mountain scenery is always so breathtaking. How long is the drive?
Well, if we take the highway, it should take us about 2 hours to get there.
That's not too bad at all. A nice, scenic drive to get away from it all.
Exactly. I'm really looking forward to the chance to unwind and recharge in nature.
It's the perfect recipe for a relaxing and rejuvenating trip. I hope you have an amazing time.
Thank you, John. I'm sure it will be wonderful. I can't wait to explore the trails and take in the fresh mountain air.
That sounds heavenly. Make sure to take lots of pictures to share when you get back.
Lesson 10, Finding the Perfect Seat.
Hello Anna, have you found a comfortable seat for our meeting?
Morning, John. Yes, I found a great spot near the window. It has good natural lighting and plenty of space. How's the seat you picked?
It's not bad, but I think I'll try to find something a bit more cushioned. Definitely makes a huge difference in comfort and performance.
I agree, the right chair can really impact how productive we are. Why don't you come check out this one I found? It has great lumbar support.
Awesome, let me take a look. Yes, this is much better. The ergonomics of this chair are perfect.
I'm glad you like it. Seating is so important, especially for longer meetings. It's worth taking the time to find the right fit.
Absolutely. Little details like this can really make or break a work session. I feel more focused and energized already.
Excellent, then let's get started on our agenda. With these comfy chairs, I think we're all set for a productive meeting.
Sounds good to me. Thanks for helping me find the perfect spot.
Lesson 11, Improving Our Lives.
Hello, Anna. Have you heard about the recent initiative to improve the quality of life in our community?
Yes, John, I'm really excited about it. The local government has been working hard to address the concerns of the people.
That's great. What kind of changes are they planning to make?
Well, they want to focus on creating more affordable housing and improving public transportation. They also want to invest in community programs that promote social justice.
Those sound like fantastic ideas. I think having access to decent housing and efficient transportation are essential for a good quality of life.
Absolutely. And the social justice programs could help address some of the inequalities in our society.
Definitely. I'm glad the people's voices are being heard. This really seems like a step in the right direction.
Me too. I'm hopeful that these changes will make a meaningful difference in the lives of our fellow citizens.
Same here. I'm looking forward to seeing the positive impact this initiative will have on our community.
Lesson 12, Greening Our Cities.
Hey Anna, I was thinking about ways we could make our city more eco-friendly. What do you think?
Ooh, that's a great idea, John. I'm always looking for ways to help the environment.
Well, I was thinking we could start by planting more trees around the city. Not only would that help the environment, but it would also beautify our streets.
I love that suggestion. Trees not only absorb carbon dioxide, but they provide shade and make the area look so much more lively.
Exactly. And we could also encourage people to plant gardens, even in small spaces like balconies or patios.
Yes, that's brilliant. Home gardens help reduce waste and provide fresh, local produce. Plus, they're so pretty to look at.
Absolutely. And we could look into installing more solar panels and implementing recycling programs too.
Those are all fantastic ideas. If we work together as a community, I bet we could make our city a real model of sustainability.
I agree. If we get people on board and provide the right resources, I think we can make some great changes.
Lesson 13, Lost Watch.
Hey Anna, have you seen my watch anywhere? I can't seem to find it.
Oh no, that's terrible. When was the last time you remember having it?
I think I had it on this morning when I left for work. I must have misplaced it somewhere.
Let's retrace your steps. Where have you been today?
Well, I went to the office, then grabbed lunch at the cafe down the street, and then came back here.
Okay, let's start at the office. Did you check your desk thoroughly?
Yes, I looked everywhere, but no luck. I even asked my coworkers if they'd seen it.
Alright, what about the cafe? Did you leave it on the table or the counter there?
I don't remember taking it off at the cafe. But I'll give them a call just in case.
Lesson 14, Cafeteria Calamities.
Oh no, I think I'm about to have a cafeteria catastrophe.
What happened? Did you spill your food or something?
I'm carrying this plate of food and I feel like I'm about to drop it any second.
Yikes, be careful. Hold it steady and walk slowly.
I'm trying, but my hands are shaking. I'm so nervous I'm going to make a huge mess.
Okay, take a deep breath. You've got this. Just focus on putting one foot in front of the other.
Ugh, I can feel everyone's eyes on me. I hate being the center of attention like this.
Don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Just get that food safely to your table.
Sai, I really need to be more careful in the cafeteria. This has happened to me way too many times.
Lesson 15, Enhancing the User Experience.
Hey Anna, I heard you talking about some new tech developments the other day. What was that all about?
Oh, I was reading about how developers are constantly working to enhance the user experience with their products and services.
That's interesting. Can you tell me more about that?
Definitely. Basically, companies are always looking for ways to make their offerings more convenient, intuitive, and enjoyable for customers.
I see. Can you give me some specific examples?
Sure, take something like mobile banking apps. The developers are always updating the interface and adding new features to make it easier to manage your finances on the go.
That makes sense. Improving the user experience must be a top priority.
Absolutely. It's all about anticipating customer needs and making their lives simpler.
That's really smart. It shows that the companies are truly focused on the end user.
Lesson 16, Commuting Troubles.
Hey Anna, what a morning I've had. The bus was so crowded, I could hardly breathe.
Oh no, that sounds awful. I'm so sorry to hear that. What happened?
Well, the bus was packed, and someone's bag kept hitting me in the face. It was just one of those mornings, you know?
Ugh, I hate when that happens. Public transportation can be such a nightmare sometimes.
Tell me about it. And then, to top it off, the bus got stuck in traffic for 20 minutes. I was so late to the office.
That's the worst. I would have been fuming. How did your boss react?
Honestly, they were pretty understanding. I explained what happened, and they said they're just glad I made it in safely, even if I was late.
Well, that's good at least. I'm sure it's frustrating, but at least your boss didn't give you a hard time about it.
Yeah, I guess it could have been worse.
Lesson 17, Meditation Tips.
Hey Anna, I was talking to my friend the other day and she was telling me all about meditation.
Oh nice, meditation can be such a great practice. What did your friend have to say about it?
Well, she said it's really helpful for managing stress and improving focus. But she also cautioned that it takes some getting used to.
That makes sense. Meditation is a skill that takes time and consistency to develop. What's your experience with it so far?
To be honest, I haven't really tried it yet. But your friend's advice makes me want to give it a shot.
That's awesome, I'm glad to hear you're interested in trying meditation. Do you have any questions about how to get started?
A few, actually. My friend mentioned something about knowing your limitations. What did she mean by that?
Good question. With meditation, it's important to start small and not try to do too much too soon. Maybe start with just 5 to 10 minutes per session.
Ah, I see, that makes sense. Ease into it gradually rather than expecting to meditate for an hour right away.
Lesson 18, Finding Artwork.
Hey Anna, I've been meaning to ask you, do you have any recommendations for where to find cool wall art?
Ooh, that's a great question. I've actually been on the hunt for some new prints myself. What kind of vibe are you going for?
Well, I'm looking to refresh my living room a bit. I want something that's modern but also has a bit of personality, you know?
Definitely, that makes sense. Have you checked out any local art fairs or galleries? They usually have a really eclectic selection.
You know, that's a great idea. I haven't been to any art events in a while. Any favorites you'd recommend?
There's a really cool one coming up next month at the community center. They always have a great mix of local artists and pieces.
That sounds perfect. I'll have to mark that on my calendar. In the meantime, do you have any online shops you'd suggest?
Let me think. Etsy is always a good go-to for unique, handmade prints. And Society 6 has a ton of really cool, affordable options.
Ooh, Etsy and Society 6, got it. I'll have to check those out. Thanks for the tips.
Lesson 19, To-Do List Helpers.
Hey Anna, have you started making your weekly to-do list yet?
No, not yet. I usually find it helpful to make one, though. Do you use a to-do list too?
Yes, definitely. It helps me stay organized and not forget anything.
Same here. I like to categorize my tasks by priority and due date.
That's a great idea. I just write everything down in one long list, but organizing it would probably make it more effective.
Exactly. It's easy to get overwhelmed with a long, unstructured list. Breaking it down makes it more manageable.
Do you use a physical notebook or an app for your to-do list?
I prefer using an app. It's easier to update and access on the go.
Nice, which app do you use? I've been meaning to try a digital to-do list.
Lesson 20, Exploring the Great Lakes.
Hey Anna, did you know that in the southern part of Ontario, there are 4 of the largest lakes in the world?
Really? I didn't realize the Great Lakes were so massive. Which ones are located in Ontario?
The 4 biggest ones are Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. They're called the Great Lakes.
Wow, that's incredible. I've been to Lake Ontario before, but I didn't know the full scale of the Great Lakes system.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Together, the Great Lakes contain about 21% of the world's surface freshwater.
Incredible. I didn't realize they were such a significant global freshwater resource.
Absolutely. They're incredibly important, both environmentally and economically, for the surrounding regions.
That makes sense. I bet there's a lot of recreation, shipping, and industry centered around the Great Lakes.
Definitely. They support a huge range of activities, from fishing and boating to transportation and manufacturing.
Lesson 21, Protecting Endangered Species.
Hey Anna, did you see the news about the decline in certain animal populations?
Yes, it's really concerning. So many species are at risk of extinction these days.
Absolutely. We need to be more proactive about conservation efforts.
I agree. Preserving biodiversity is crucial for the health of our ecosystems.
Definitely. One of the biggest threats is the illegal wildlife trade.
That's true. People buying products made from endangered animals is a major problem.
Exactly. By refusing to buy those items, we can help stop the demand.
Exactly. It's important for consumers to be aware of the impact of their purchases.
Definitely. Every individual can make a difference by being a conscious consumer.
Lesson 22, Adjusting the Temperature.
Hey Anna, I noticed it's starting to get a bit warm in here. Could you help me adjust the thermostat?
Sure, no problem. What temperature would you like me to set it to?
Let's go with 22 degrees Celsius. That should be comfortable.
Okay, give me a moment. Adjusts thermostat there, I've set it to 22 degrees.
Great, thanks Anna. That should cool things down nicely.
No worries. It's important to keep the temperature comfortable, especially on warmer days.
Absolutely. I'm glad we can control the climate in here. It makes a big difference.
Definitely. Having that control over the environment is so convenient.
Agreed. It's one of the modern luxuries we often take for granted.
Lesson 23, Exploring Emerging Markets.
Hey Anna, I was reading about some interesting developments in the business world.
Oh really? What caught your attention?
There's an emerging market segment that's showing a lot of growth potential.
That's exciting. Which market are you referring to?
From what I've seen, the emerging market sector seems to have a lot of untapped opportunities.
Interesting. What makes you think that particular market is so promising?
Well, the data I've reviewed indicates there's high consumer demand and room for expansion.
That's great to hear. It's always good to identify new growth areas.
Definitely. I'm really intrigued by the possibilities in this emerging market segment.
Lesson 24, Convenient Box.
Hey Anna, did you hear about that new service that provides a box for guests to store their valuable belongings?
No, I haven't heard about that. What is it?
It's this really convenient service where you can rent a small lockbox to keep your stuff safe when you're staying at a hotel or vacation rental.
Oh, that sounds great. Are there any other features or benefits to this service?
Well, the boxes are conveniently located right in the room, so you don't have to worry about carrying your valuables around. And they're pretty affordable too.
That's fantastic. It must give guests a lot of peace of mind knowing their important items are secure.
Absolutely. It's one less thing to stress about during your trip. Have you ever had any issues with losing or misplacing your belongings while traveling?
Yes, unfortunately. I once left my wallet in a taxi and had to cancel all my cards. This service would have been so helpful.
I can imagine. Well, I'm definitely going to look into using one of those boxes next time I travel. It just seems like such a smart and simple solution.
Lesson 25, The Rise of Pulitzer and Hearst.
Hey Anna, did you know about the influential publishing figures Joseph Pulitzer and William Randolph Hearst?
No, I don't know much about them. Who were they, and what did they do?
Pulitzer and Hearst were pioneers of the new style of journalism and publishing in the late 1800s. They transformed the newspaper industry.
Oh, that's fascinating. What were some of their key contributions?
Well, Pulitzer bought the New York World newspaper and used sensationalized stories and eye-catching headlines to attract readers. This yellow journalism approach was very effective.
I see. And what about Hearst?
Hearst took a similar approach with his newspaper, the New York Journal. He engaged in fierce competition with Pulitzer, trying to outdo each other's sensational reporting.
Wow, so they were really shaping a new era of publishing and journalism back then. That must have had a big impact.
Absolutely. Their tactics helped make newspapers more accessible and entertaining for the general public. It was a major shift from the stodgy, elite newspapers of the past.
Lesson 26, The Rise of Pellett and the Toronto Stock Exchange.
Hey Anna, did you know that the first official stock brokerage firm in North America was established in 1866?
No, I didn't know that. Where was the first brokerage firm located?
It was founded in Toronto, Canada by a man named James Pellett. He started the Pellett Senior brokerage firm.
Interesting. What role did Pellett's firm play in the development of the financial markets?
Well, Pellett Senior became an integral part of the growing Toronto Stock Exchange. They helped establish many of the early trading practices and regulations.
I see. So Pellett's firm was really instrumental in shaping the Canadian stock market in those early days.
Exactly. Pellett and his brokerage firm were crucial to the rise of the Toronto Stock Exchange as a major financial hub.
That's really fascinating. I didn't realize Toronto was home to such an important financial innovation back then.
Yeah, it's an often overlooked piece of financial history. But the Toronto Exchange and Pellett's firm played a big role in the evolution of the stock market.
Lesson 27, The Tragic Decline of Wildlife.
Hey Anna, did you know that many animal species around the world are facing serious threats to their survival?
No, I wasn't aware of that. What kinds of threats are these animals facing?
Well, a lot of it has to do with habitat loss and poaching. Many species that were once abundant are now dwindling in number.
That's really concerning. Which animals are being impacted the most?
Some of the hardest hit species include rhinos, elephants, tigers, and gorillas. Their populations have plummeted over the past few decades.
That's just heartbreaking. These are such incredible and iconic animals. What's causing their numbers to drop so dramatically?
It's mainly due to deforestation, urbanization, and illegal hunting and poaching. As humans encroach on their natural habitats, these animals are struggling to survive.
That's just devastating. We need to do more to protect these endangered species before it's too late.
Absolutely. Conservation efforts are underway, but it's an uphill battle. Many of these animals are on the brink of extinction.
Lesson 28: Fishing in the Peaceful Woods.
Hey Anna, have you ever been fishing in the woods before?
No, I can't say that I have. What's it like?
It's such a peaceful and serene experience. The woods are quiet and surrounded by nature.
That sounds lovely. What's the fishing like in a setting like that?
It's fantastic. The rivers and streams are usually less crowded than popular fishing spots near the cities.
That must be really nice to have the water to yourself. Is the fishing any good?
Absolutely. You can find all kinds of trout and other freshwater fish. It's a really relaxing way to spend the day.
It sounds so idyllic. I can imagine it would be very calming to just sit by the water in the middle of the woods.
Definitely. No distractions, no noise, just you, the sounds of nature, and the thrill of catching a fish.
Lesson 29: Hardworking Creative Genius.
Hey Anna, did you know that Thomas Edison, the famous inventor, once said that his success was due to many hours of hard work?
Oh really? I didn't know that. It's interesting to hear that even a creative genius like Edison attributed his achievements to sheer hard work.
Exactly. He believed that inspiration and creativity were only a small part of the equation. The real key was putting in the long hours and dedication.
That's a good lesson for all of us. Too often, we think that success comes from some flash of brilliance, when in reality, it's usually the result of persistent effort over time.
Absolutely. Edison was known to work 18-hour days in his lab, tinkering and experimenting until he got the results he wanted. He didn't just sit around waiting for ideas to strike.
It just goes to
Definitely.
show that even the most
I think
creative
that's a
minds have
mindset
to
a
put in
lot
the
of
hard
people could
work.
benefit from adopting.
Talent and vision are
Don't
important,
just wait
but
for
they have to be
inspiration
backed
to
up by
strike,
sheer
get out there and put in
determination.
the time and effort.
Exactly. Edison's story is a great reminder that success isn't easy, but it's achievable through consistent hard work. It's an inspiring example to follow.
Couldn't agree more. If even a visionary like Edison had to grind it out, then the rest of us certainly can't expect success to just fall into our laps.
Lesson 30: The Rhythms of Jazz.
Hey Anna, did you know that jazz music has its roots in African American music that was influenced by rhythms from West Africa?
Really? I didn't realize the genre had such deep cultural connections. That's fascinating.
Yeah, the syncopated rhythms and improvisational style of jazz are heavily influenced by the musical traditions of different African regions.
That makes a lot of sense. Jazz has such a distinct, energetic sound to it. It's cool to learn about the cultural origins that shaped its development.
Definitely. The call and response patterns, the polyrhythms, a lot of those core elements of jazz can be traced back to musical practices in West Africa.
It's amazing how music can act as a cultural bridge like that, preserving and evolving traditions from one part of the world to another.
Absolutely. Jazz was a way for African Americans to express their unique cultural identity and heritage, even as they adapted to life in the United States.
That's a really insightful way to look at it. Jazz wasn't just about the music itself, but about maintaining those deep cultural connections.
Exactly. The rhythms, the improvisation, the soulful expression, it was all a way of keeping that African heritage alive, even in a new context.
Lesson 31, Traveling to London.
Hey Anna, are you going somewhere today?
As a matter of fact, yes. I'm heading to London for a quick trip.
London, huh? That sounds exciting. What brings you over there?
Just a little personal business I need to take care of. Nothing too glamorous, but I'm looking forward to the change of scenery.
That's great. How long will you be staying in London?
Just a couple of days. I have a few meetings, and then I'll be back home.
Nice, nice. Are you planning to do any sightseeing while you're there?
Definitely. I want to try and squeeze in a visit to the British Museum if I can. And maybe take a stroll through Hyde Park.
Good choices. The British Museum has an amazing collection. And Hyde Park is such a lovely, peaceful spot in the middle of the city.
Lesson 32, Preserving Ancestral Memories.
Hey Anna, I heard you've been working on preserving some of your family's ancestral memories. That sounds really interesting.
Yes, that's right. It's something I've been really passionate about lately. I want to make sure our family history and traditions aren't lost.
That's such an admirable goal. Cultural preservation is so important, especially in today's fast paced, ever changing world.
Absolutely. I feel like we're at risk of losing touch with our roots if we don't actively work to document and pass down those stories and rituals.
Definitely. What kinds of things have you been doing to capture your family's ancestral memories?
Well, I've been conducting interviews with my grandparents, trying to record as many of their first-hand accounts as I can. And I've been going through old family photos and artifacts to piece together our history.
That's a really wonderful approach. Oral histories and physical mementos are such powerful ways to preserve that cultural heritage.
Exactly. I want my future generations to have a tangible connection to where we came from. Not just abstract facts, but real personal stories and meaningful objects.
I think that's so admirable. It's easy for those kinds of traditions and memories to get lost over time, so taking the initiative to document them is truly valuable.
Lesson 33, Savoring Seasonal Fruit.
Hey Anna, are you enjoying all the fresh fruit in season right now?
Definitely. This time of year is my favorite for fruit. I've been indulging in so many strawberries lately.
Ah, yes, strawberry season is the best. There's nothing quite like that sweet, juicy flavor.
I know. I try to eat as many as I can while they're at their peak. They just taste so much better than the ones you can get year-round.
Absolutely. Eating fruit at the height of its season is such a treat. The flavors are so much more vibrant and intense.
Exactly. I love how different fruits come into season at different times of the year. It keeps me looking forward to what's next.
Definitely. It's a great way to stay connected to the rhythms of nature and the changing seasons.
Definitely. And it's so satisfying to really savor whatever fruit is freshest and most abundant at the moment.
I agree. Rather than just eating the same fruits all year round, it's more fun to embrace what's in season.
Lesson 34, Dreaming of Cars.
Hey Anna, if I had $1 million, I would definitely buy myself a sleek Mustang.
Oh really? I'm more of a Pontiac Sunbird kind of gal myself. The retro style is just so appealing.
A Sunbird, huh? That's a bold choice. But I can see the charm in that classic look.
Absolutely. Plus, it would be way more practical for my daily commute. A Mustang might be a bit flashy, don't you think?
You make a good point. Maybe I should reconsider and go for something a little more understated.
Variety is the spice of life. We can each have our dream cars and take turns driving them.
I like the way you think. We could take a road trip in your Sunbird one day and then switch to my Mustang the next.
Now you're talking. This is shaping up to be the perfect plan. We'll have to start saving up those millions.
Ha, you got that right. But it'll be worth it to cruise around town in style.
Lesson 35, Fun and Games.
Hey Anna, did you hear about the new game room that just opened up downtown?
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to check that place out. I love a good game of pinball.
Same here. And they've got all the latest video games too. We should go together sometime.
Definitely. I'm always up for some friendly competition. Maybe we can even squeeze in a swim at the hotel pool afterwards.
Ooh, that sounds perfect. A little gaming, a little swimming, the perfect day of relaxation.
Absolutely. We can work up an appetite playing all those games, then cool off in the pool.
Sounds like a plan. I'm already looking forward to it. This is going to be a blast.
Me too. We're going to have such a fun time. I can't wait to see who the pinball champion is.
Oh, it's on. Prepare to be amazed by my skills.
Lesson 36, Exploring Religions.
Hey Anna, did you know that two of the world's major religions both had a single main god?
That's interesting. Which religions are you referring to?
Well, there's Judaism, which centers around the worship of Yahweh. And then there's Islam, which focuses on the one God, Allah.
Ah, I see. That's quite a fascinating parallel between those two ancient belief systems.
Definitely. It's amazing how different cultures can arrive at similar theological concepts independently.
Absolutely. It just goes to show the universal human need to find meaning and the divine.
Completely agree. Religion has played such a crucial role in shaping civilizations throughout history.
Definitely. It's always enlightening to learn about the similarities and differences between the world's great faiths.
Agreed. There's so much we can learn from exploring these spiritual traditions.
Lesson 37, Vacation Planning.
Hey Anna, have you started planning for our upcoming trip yet?
You bet. I can't wait to get away for a bit. It's going to be the perfect getaway.
Awesome. What do you think we should make sure to pack?
Well, let's see. Comfortable clothes, swimsuits, sunscreen, and of course our cameras to capture all the memories.
Good call. Can't forget the essentials. Oh, and maybe a few books to read by the pool.
Absolutely. Gotta have some light reading material for those relaxing moments.
Definitely. This is going to be such a refreshing break from the daily grind.
I know, right? It's exactly what we need to recharge and come back feeling rejuvenated.
You said it. I'm really looking forward to it. This trip is going to be amazing.
Lesson 38, Evening Plans.
Hey Anna, any big plans for the evening?
Well, I was thinking about heading to the gym for a workout. How about you?
The gym, huh? That's a productive way to spend the evening.
Absolutely. Gotta keep that body in shape. What about you? Any exciting plans?
To be honest, I was just going to relax at home. Maybe catch up on some reading.
Reading, huh? That sounds like a nice, peaceful way to unwind.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to just take it easy, you know? Recharge the batteries.
I hear that. We all need those moments of calm and solitude once in a while.
Definitely. But hey, if you don't mind the company, I could tag along to the gym.
Lesson 39, Travel Plans.
Hey Anna, did you hear that we need to show our tickets at the gate before boarding the plane?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I hope there's enough overhead space for all our luggage.
Me too. I packed quite a few things for the trip.
Same here. We'll just have to make sure everything fits.
Definitely. I'm excited to see the sights once we arrive. Have you looked into any must see attractions?
Yes, I've made a list of the top places we should visit. There's an art museum, a historic cathedral, and a beautiful park that I want to check out.
Awesome, that sounds like a great itinerary. I can't wait to experience the local culture.
Me neither. This trip is going to be so much fun.
Absolutely. I'm glad we're doing this together.
Lesson 40, Online Courses.
Hello Anna, have you been taking any online courses lately?
Yes, I just enrolled in a few. I love how accessible and convenient they are.
Me too. It's also affordable compared to traditional classes.
Definitely. The courses I'm doing cover a wide range of topics, from coding to creative writing.
That's great. I'm taking an economics course that's been really informative.
Nice. Online learning is such a great way to expand our skills and knowledge.
I agree. It's been a game changer for me.
Absolutely. I'm really enjoying the flexibility and personalized learning experience.
Same here. This is the future of education.